usually so usually I love Jamaica, and I made some really great friends in Jamaica, and I've got some. I was fortunately able to be taught by some really great professors, and not necessarily just local Caribbean professors as well. So like I got some really awesome Caribbean professors, and I got some professors from Scotland. My supervisors from Scotland. I had one, she was from like Australia, something like that. So, and it's good to meet people. I met some Brazilian friends, some Canadian friends. So if you could find a way to like go abroad, definitely try. It's a fun experience. It's kind of tough, being away from your family for a little while, but other than that, it's usually not too bad. So Leah and Nathan, you all have any interest in? You all know what you all want to do yet in terms of careers? Or not yet? Leah? Have the chat open as well. So if anyone wants to send a message to the chat, then you can do that as well. So I'm giving you all about 3 more minutes to let me know what you all have in mind. Okay. I'm not hearing from anyone just yet. Oh, and I have a little bit of, well, not really bad, but tomorrow, Mr. Williams, Mr. Randy Williams, he'll be doing your PowerPoint session. I have something came up, but I should be there for the last half hour. I'm having a friend come on to do STEM careers, and he is an entomologist, and he will be showing you a lot of interesting things and some nice videos. And he has also traveled. He has been to France for a research internship. And I will just, so you all can ask him questions. So I'll just pop on. Right. I know right. That's no problem. I'll start recording once I start doing the actual thing. So that's no problem. But yeah, anyway, so he will be coming on tomorrow. Okay, so I'm gonna start now. It's what, 12:08. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share the lab that we have in mind. Any of you all have any questions about the lab yet? You all have your
All right, guys, who has the answer for me? What do you think is a life cycle? Who can explain what is a life cycle?
A life cycle is the stages that a living thing goes through in order for it to become what it is meant to be, and then for the process to happen again.
All right.
A life cycle is a cycle that starts from when the being is born up to it dies. And it is real.
Great answer. So I'm about to share about my screen now, okay? All right, so a life cycle, as you all explained, a life cycle refers to the different stages of change experienced by a living organism. So can anybody tell the different stages? What do you think are the different stages of a life cycle?
Yes.
All right, can you give me one, Miss Gordon? Is it Miss or Mr.?
Stephen.
Repeat. Guys, are you hearing me?
Yes, miss.
All right, so Miss Garden, can you tell me 2 stages of a life cycle? Or 1, whichever.
There's no Miss Gordon here.
Oh, I'm sorry, what's your name?
My name is Drew Main.
Isn't Garden your last name?
Yes, it is, but I am not Miss Gordon.
Okay. All right. So can you tell me the answer to the question, please?
So, like 2 stages of a life cycle is infant and adolescent.
All right. Anybody else have the other 2 stages? Are you guys 100% sure? All right, guys. So each life cycle differs, but they all consist of the following stages. Production. So introduction, meaning their birthing phase, when they are, so they experience growth and they reach maturity and then they decline. So basically they
Pay attention, pay attention.
I'm hungry.
You're not hungry. Pay attention.
all right, guys, so here you are seeing the different types of kingdom, right? The kingdoms of living things. So we're not basically going to go in detail. I'm just showing you the different kingdoms. So you have the fungi kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, in which we are from. So we are mammals, and we have the protista and we have the bacteria. All right. So this is the fungi cycle. So who can tell me what they think is going on here? Drumaine, do you want to give it a try? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, Miss, I'm seeing a screen.
All right, so do you want to give it a try? Do you want to give it a go?
Okay, Miss. First is the spores. Then is spore germination. Then mycelium. And then the fruiting body, and then back to the spores again.
All right. So you are correct. So the mature fungi, which is the mushroom, the fruiting body, it produces the spores, which undergoes germination, and then it starts to mature. So the mycelium is the stage in which it produces projections, thread-like projections into the earth. So basically here, it acts as the roots to a plant, right? So it goes down into the earth and it draws up or it absorbs water and nutrients and minerals in order to produce a fruiting body, right? So in order to grow and mature. So after maturation, now then it is able to produce the spores, and the cycle continues until the organism dies, right? Because remember, in a life cycle, it have to eventually die at some point. So everybody understood?
Yes, Miss.
All right, so as I said earlier, it's the basics of each life cycle. Although they differ, is that they are born, they grow, they mature, and they die. All right, so that is exactly what we are seeing here also. Everybody here in the video?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss.
All right.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our plans, and they look great. It's almost hard to believe that these beautiful plants might be familiar with the little packets of seeds that you use to grow flowers or vegetables in your garden, or maybe the sunflower seeds that you find in your snack mix. But did you know that seed grows into a plant. Thanks for asking, Dimitri. First of all, seeds come in lots of different shapes. Three parts. When the seed is in the right place to start growing, for example, the sunflower seed or the pumpkin seed in your trail mix, that is not to grow. After all, seeds can grow in this
Normal physical functions.
to hear anything.
Yeah, I know what to say. I know what to say.
Great question, Squeaks. To get started, every seed needs water, the right temperature, and the right amount of light. Once the seed has these three things, everyone is planted in some nice hot soil, the embryo or baby plant gets the signal to start growing. For plants, this growing process is called germination. First, the seed will let some water until the seed will no matter what way the seed is planted. Or which
Is an error in my code.
All right, guys. Guys, are you there?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Yes.
All right, so can anybody explain what they understood from the video? In terms of life cycle?
I couldn't really hear, so I didn't understand anything.
Did not understand anything? All right, we are going to explain it further, all right? Did anybody understood? I would like to help Alexander.
Yes, I understood that plants
Yes,
have
I
to be
understand.
germinated to grow.
Okay, that's excellent. Anybody else? Right. All right, guys, so this is the plant's life cycle. So you have the fruit with the seed and the fruit germinates. All right, so take a look at the seed. Everybody seen my mouse?
Yes, miss.
All right, so remember, the video just said that the seed has an outer coat and two middle coat inside, two sections inside, right? So one would be the endoderm, and the next would be the embryo. So the embryo grows up to form the shoot, and the roots grows downwards. So after the seed germinates, so the conditions needed for the seed to germinate, as mentioned in the video, is water, temperature, and light. So in this case, sunshine, right? So after the conditions are met that is needed for the seed to germinate, it starts to grow. So it pushes down its roots, and then after it uptakes some nutrients and water for the plants to start growing, it starts to push up the embryo, right? And this forms into a seedling. This is what we're seeing here. So basically the new plant starts to form. So then the roots continue to uptake nutrients for the plants, as well as the leaves produce food for the plants to grow. So here we are seeing the plant being born basically at seed germination, and during the seedling stage, it starts to grow, right? Until it reaches maturity, which is here, the adult plant. So when it's reached maturity now, then the cycle will continue until the tree dies. Do you understand that, Alexandra?
Yes, Miss.
You understand? Everybody else understand the plant's life cycle?
Yes, Miss.
All right.
Yes, Miss.
A life cycle is the stage happens next? A chick hatches. Then what happens? The chick grows. What happens after that? The chick gets bigger and bigger. Then what happens? They turn into finally what happens? The adult lays an egg, so the cycle can repeat. This is the chicken cycle. Egg, hatching, chicken, getting bigger, adult chicken. What do bears start as? Bears start little cubs. Then what happens? They stop learning from mothers fathers. What happens? They finally what happens? Also, a baby pops of their own. This is the big mystery. Mouse, mouse, mouse. Adult bears will have a new mom. Animals have life cycles that they go through, and they keep happening so that the animal continues to exist. Remember that the life cycle is the stages that we have from birth to death. It is called a cycle because it continues on and on and on.
All right, guys. So here I have a land species, which is human, which is a human. I have an animal that lives in the sea, which is a fish. And here I have the frog's life cycle. So the frog's life cycle occurs both in water and on land. So let's go to the human's life cycle. So this one, a baby is born, so the eggs get fertilized. A baby is born, so it has the child stage, right? And then then the child becomes a teenager and then into an adult. So an adult would be the maturity stage, all right? So the adult gets old and then eventually dies. So when the teenager reaches an adult or reaches the adult phase, they tend to reproduce, which would give rise to a baby, which would then continue the human life cycle. Does everybody understand that? Alexandra, do you understand?
Yes, miss. But my name is pronounced Alexandre.
Alexandre, okay. All right, the fish life cycle now. All right, so you have the spawning taking place. So spawning, anybody knows what spawning means or what it is? Alexandra, you look like you want to give it a go.
Maybe when it lays the egg,
Okay,
or maybe when it creates the baby.
that is correct, sweetheart. All right, so spawning is basically the process in which baby fishes are born or form, right? So the eggs get fertilized and then you have the early larvae. So when the fish is very, 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 very small, then you have the late larval stages where they begin to grow, but they are not that big, all right? Then they reach the juvenile stage. So in humans, the juvenile stage would be known as the teenager stage, all right? And then they grow further to maturity, to adult fishes. And then they spawn again and the life cycle continues until that individuals die, all right? So whether by fishing, because you know that we eat fishes, so whether the fish dies by being caught by a fisherman or by sicknesses, it dies eventually, just like everything in a life cycle, all right? Now, the video earlier explained the frog's life cycle. Can anybody explain the process of the life cycle?
Eggs, embryo, tadpole, tadpole with 2 legs, the tadpole with 4 legs, and then the complete adult frog.
Okay, that's very good. All right, guys, so as I mentioned earlier, the focus is mainly on plants and animals' life cycle, but here we have the protester life cycle. So remember earlier, I spoke about the 5 types of kingdoms. So you have the fungi, you have the plant, you have the animal, you have the protester, and you have the bacteria. So this is basically the protester's life cycle, right? So basically, as I said earlier, it's the birthing and the growing of the plant into adulthood, all right? And then eventually it dies. So this is basically what we are seeing happening here, all right? So germ gametes being fertilized and the organism is born, the zygote, it begins to grow. So this would be the teenager stage, all right? And then it grows into the fruiting body, which would be the adult phase, all right? Everybody understand?
Yes, miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay, great. So basically, as I said earlier on in the video, a life cycle or everybody's life cycle goes through 4 phases, although they might differ in one way or another. So you have the birthing, you have the growing of the organism, you have the maturation, so when they grow to adults, and then eventually death, all right? So guys, we reached a point where we have our lab assessment. So this is basically the guideline, all right? So you guys will be drawing some life cycles for me. So you can do this on a blank sheet of paper and take the picture and upload it, all right, at the end of the day. So the guidelines. So the kingdom classification of each drawing must be listed. So you must write your name and you write kingdom and you write the kingdom right here. So this is a picture of a fungi. So here I have fungi right here for the kingdom name. And you must label each drawing to the right side. So as you can see, all right,
Excuse me, miss.
yes, there.
Do we have to like draw it, or can we just make it on our computer on a blank sheet of paper?
No, you don't have to draw. You can be creative. But ensure that the name, the kingdom is listed. There's a title above the drawing or the image that you have put, and it is correctly labeled to the right side. All right, guys?
Yes, miss.
All right, so this is section 1. So we have 2 sections to this lab assignment or assessment, right? So section 1, over this side, I have questions for ages 8 to 11. So if you are on the platform and you are between or are the ages are of the age 8 to 11, you would do the questions on the left. If you are between 12 to 17, you will do the questions on the right, all right? So you guys have 25 minutes to attempt to do these questions, all right, guys? You can use Google if you don't remember everything, or you can ask me to go back to a particular slide. All right, guys? All right, so I'm gonna start the countdown. Have fun, guys.
Bye.
No, sweetheart, you're supposed to stay online and do the assignment.
You have a test.
Right, because yes, you need to have a discussion with Brandon. Here.
I'm to the 8 to 11.
100 bucks, I might need
Version.
4 by 6 boxes.
Yes, dear, you're supposed to answer the
Multiple.
number 1, number 2,
classified.
number 3, and number 4 under that section, okay? You
Miss,
can ask for assistance,
Okay.
or you can use Google to help.
Okay.
All right?
Miss,
Or you can ask me to go back to the slide.
20, 30.
Miss, Miss, can we type it or do we have to write it?
No, you can type it.
From outside into a box, and I said that box could be a 6 by 6 box, and you put maybe a 4 2-inch conduit or something coming into there and draw that thing through. You know, so something to that effect.
Kima. Kima.
Which drawing? Original. I think I don't know if I have that, you know, I have
Guys, when you're finished, you can just tell me and I'll move the slide to this to section B. All right, section 2. Guys, you're writing on the screen. Could you erase all of that for me, please?
That's Adam, I think.
Repeat.
I think that's Adam.
Adam. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Miss. Miss,
Yes, Darren?
if you go up to the 3 dots, there's a way you can disable annotate. No, not for Zoom on Zoom.
I don't want to switch the thing.
Is that my favorite car?
Please go on the 3
Repeat. This one.
at the top. It's supposed to be at the top. The where you normally click to stop share. That one.
All right,
There's 3 dots there where you can click to save.
yeah, I selected already there. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, miss, can you please show me the slide of the life cycle of a human?
Okay. Are you seeing it?
Thank you, miss.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, you have approximately 5 minutes to go, all right, for section A.
Really?
Miss,
Miss,
could
can
you
you
go
go
back to
to
the questions,
section B?
please? I'm not done with section A. Can you go back to the questions, please? Thanks, Miss.
Can you go to section B, Miss?
Is everybody finished with section A?
Nearly done, Miss.
Repeat.
I am nearly done.
Okay, when you're finished, just let me know, okay? All right, guys. Have everybody completed the questions? If not, can you please write the questions down because I want to move the slide to section 2, okay? I'll give you a minute to write off the questions.
Yes, Miss. Hello.
Yes,
And
ma'am?
How do you submit? This is Adam's mom. How do you submit the answers?
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
in the chat, an email was sent, so you would put it to that email, all right?
Okay, all right, thanks.
Mhm. All right, guys, so here is section 2. So for question 2, you can either use the life cycles that I have on the slides, or you can Google it and find an organism within each of the kingdoms, and you can draw or take the image of that life cycle. All right. So you have 10 minutes for this section. All right, guys, 5 minutes remaining. All right, guys, so I'm back. So your time has expired. However, you guys have until the end of the day to submit the assignment, all right? So look in the chat, you will see an email. You are going to send both sections to that email, all right, guys? Everybody hearing me?
Yes, miss.
Miss.
All right, so here, just a minute.
Yes, miss.
All right, so here I have an at-home experiment for you guys. So you are going to use bean and peas for this experiment, all right? All right, guys. So in essence, you are going to, you can plant more than 4 seeds or beans in the containers, but this is just a basic methodology. So methodology. So when you go on site,
Wait, miss, let me just go get those real quick, please.
repeat.
Miss, I can't get those right now. Can I just get those right now?
Can you be more specific?
Miss, I have beans and plastic cups, but I don't have peas, and I have paper towels.
Yeah, you can do that at home. So it is an at-home experiment. All right, you can
Okay, miss.
today if you wish or tomorrow, but ensure that you get it done. All right, guys. All right, so a more in-depth method is online in the
Hey, miss.
room, so you guys can go ahead and view that document. All right, so for the experiment now, so you're going to collect the peas and the beans. So you're going to use 4 containers per experiment. So the bean experiment is 1 and the peas experiment is 2. So for the bean experiment, you're going to use 4 see-through cups or containers so you can see the development as it progresses. So in the first cup, you are going to put soil. In the second cup, you are going to put damp paper towel. In the third cup, you are going to put damp newspaper and water in the fourth cup for each experiment. So you are going to plant the seeds and observe what happens. Okay, guys?
Okay, miss.
All right, so
Well,
you
miss, what
observe.
happened? Excuse me, miss, what's wrong what should you do if you don't have any raw peas?
You don't have any raw peas?
Yes, miss, I only have raw beans.
You can use the beans, man.
Okay, miss.
You can do beans only. You can do the beans experiment only. All right, so what I want you to do is record measurements. So as it begins to grow, you record in a table. So you say, okay, for experiment 1, which is experiment, you're going to lay, yes, there?
What's the last thing we have to do?
For today?
What's the last thing we're putting in the cup?
Oh, water.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay. So as I said earlier, the information is in the Google Classroom, okay? So you can just go and download the document. And then you are going to record the data. So basically at the end of the experiment, you are going to find out which soil type had the most effect on the seed. In essence, you're going to see which one grew the tallest in the different cups. All right, so you want to find out if soil had the taller plant, if paper towel had the taller plant, or the water. So that's basically what the experiment is about, right? And then for those of you who do both the bean and the peas, you can compare both the bean and the peas. All right, guys?
Okay, miss.
Everybody understand the experiment?
Wait, miss, I do have pumpkin seeds too. Can I use pumpkin seeds instead of peas?
Yes, you can give it a try, yeah.
Okay, miss.
All right, guys, so as I said, remember to upload your work later today. And the methodology or the methods for the experiment is posted online, all right? The at-home experiment.
Okay, miss.
All right, guys, so this is the end of your virtual lab. Please have a wonderful day, okay, guys?
You say, miss?
Okay, Miss.
Wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your sessions.
Oh, okay, you too, miss.
All right, so remember to stay online for your next session.
Yes, miss, we're just gonna leave the breakout room.
Bye.
Miss.
Yes, dear?
Should I leave the room?
No, dear, have a next session at 12:30.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to leave the breakout room.
Your next session is in the break room, so do not leave. All right, guys?
Oh, miss, someone already left.
All right, you guys remain. So we'll get information to the other person for them to log on back. All right? Bye, guys.
Okay, Miss. Okay, I'll just